Yo, what's going on, everybody? So today we're going to be discussing who would make the most capable leader of the Phantom Troupe in case Chrollo or something died. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like on it. I greatly appreciate that. Also, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a video, and hit the notification bell at the top so you don't miss a notification. And without further ado, let's get this started. Okay, so first up is Nobunaga. Nobunaga is an interesting one because he's not dumb, but he's also not that smart at the same time. He's a really serious character, but he often lets his emotions get control of him. An example is with Kurapika. He wasn't able to keep his emotions in check, and he wasn't able to stop himself from being so furious with Kurapika. And don't get me wrong, it's okay to have emotions, but be smart with your emotions, don't be reckless with it. Because when you think about smart people that are also furious, you think about Kurapika, because he was able to take down one of the Phantom Troupe members, and he's furious at all of them. And say what you want, but he analyzed each and every one of the Phantom Troupe members, and he was smart with it. He was able to kill Uvo, and he was able to see if his nin ability would be able to hold him back. If he just let his emotions take control and he went to go fight them on his own, he would get slaughtered. Another reason he's not capable of being the leader is that he sucks at keeping watch. I mean, you got outsmarted by two kids who are literally right in front of you and that you just gotta keep watch of. Worst babysitter ever, am I right? And granted, one of them is a trained assassin, but Killua tends to overthink a lot of stuff. And Gon is pretty smart when he wants to be too, but still, those are two little kids and you aren't an experienced nin user. I can only imagine what his reaction was when they didn't show up to fight him. I mean, come on, you said it yourself, if you enter this ring, you will die. Why would I take that opportunity to fight you when I could just get away? And the other reason is he's a little bit slow. And look, I get it, he was in the middle spot of the car, but I feel like he still should have been able to get out of there. Of course, I'm referring to when he was in the car and he got stuck in the blankets or whatever that was. Okay, next up is Phaeton. Phaeton is a good candidate to be the leader of the Phantom Troupe because he can remain calm. He does have a mad side of him that he gets upset, but he can remain calm when he wants to be. He is the interrogator of the group, so you're going to have some sort of patience to be able to be an interrogator. And you also have to be creative and think about stuff on the spot to be able to get the person to talk. He's also really active in the Phantom Troupe's activities, which gives him a better chance of being a capable leader because he's not afraid to be active like that. He's not afraid to get involved. Not saying the rest of the troupe doesn't want to get involved, it's just that he's actively doing it and he doesn't mind it at all. But he also does have occasions where he does clashes with other members of the Phantom Troupe, so if he was going to lead them, he would have to stop that. Because the other members of the Phantom Troupe don't necessarily have to respect him like they do Chrollo, but they do have to respect the fact that he's the leader of the group. And he's also really powerful as he almost killed the Phantom Troupe when he released Pain Packer while they were watching at some point in the past. So yeah, that really brings him up on the list because if you're going to be the leader of the Phantom Troupe, you have to be really powerful. Okay, next up is Mashi. And everything after this may have manga spoilers, so please be cautious. Mashi is also a candidate to be a great leader as well. She's smart, she has a great nin ability, plus she's cold and sharp. But she has been known to have a soft side, so if she's going to be the leader, she's not going to have that. But hey, every leader is different, and the soft side might not be too bad to have as a leader. There may be a time where compassion is more effective than ruthlessness. And her intuition is very sharp, which is also very important for a leader. You're going to have those natural instincts that you can sometimes rely on if you can't have a plan. And it's also very reliable with a majority of the time that is correct. She could also use her nin dreads to track people, so she also can be the tracker of the group. That's not necessary for a leader to have, but it is a good asset and very skillful, and it will be useful to them. Okay, next up is Kaluta Zodiac. And Kaluta isn't really fit to be the leader because 1, he isn't that strong compared to the other Phantom Troupe members. 1, he's too young and we don't really know how good his leadership is. He was trained to be an assassin, so it could be possibly good, but we just don't have enough information about that. And his abilities are alright, but it's not the greatest abilities, so it wouldn't really be, it'd be an asset to them, but it wouldn't be the deciding factor for him to be the leader. And he's usually seen doing what he's told, so he's more of a subordinate than anything else. I can definitely see him being a leader in the future though, depending on where his training takes him and where he puts his nin abilities. Okay, next up is Finks. And Finks is already a candidate to not be the leader because he's short-tempered and reckless. He has a tendency to get into conflicts with people around him and his comrades, so that's already not befitting of a leader. If he was to mature a little bit more and would stop that, I can definitely see him being a leader. He also likes to troll a lot, which happens to get him in trouble. Like the time he almost got Chrollo killed because he was trying to troll Kurapika on the phone. That was definitely one of the funniest Hunter x Hunter moments. And his nin ability isn't that bad either. If he was to wind it long enough, he could possibly get stronger than Uvo, but he said himself that he has problems using the ability. Plus, at some point your arm is gonna get tired, right? Okay, next up is Franklin. Franklin actually has a good chance to be the leader because he's calm and you can rely on him to bring the Phantom Troupe together. And like I said earlier, if you want to have a leader, it has to be someone that can remain calm and make good plans. Or you could have the type of leader like Luffy, but this isn't a One Piece video. He's also really loyal to the Phantom Troupe because he would not hesitate to kill a member of it and replace them. And his nin ability really isn't that bad either, it just makes nin bullets. And usually nin bullets are powerful, but they're not that great considering they're so easy to make and it's actually a common thing. But his are actually unique. Because he cut off the tips of his fingers, it made a limitation and that made the nin ability more powerful. But that ability doesn't really determine his worth as a leader, so we're just gonna ignore that. Next up is Shizuku. And Shizuku could possibly be a leader, but she just doesn't show that much emotion. And I know I said earlier that a leader needs to remain calm, but there's a difference between remaining calm and being emotionless. She's also really forgetful of stuff, so that's not that good to be a leader and you're always forgetting stuff. And her nin ability is alright. She used it really well when she was fighting against one of the Chimera ants, but it's not really leader material. It's mostly used just to clean up everything in the background and the bodies and stuff, so it's useful in that regard, but not really leader material. And before we get to the next one, please leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it so far, I greatly appreciate that. Okay, next up is Banalunov. And I can't lie to you, I butchered that name like 5 times in the span of 2 minutes. Seriously, who makes these names? Besides Saraynik, he probably has to have the most difficult name in the series. But he probably wouldn't be that bad of a leader, we just haven't seen him make any plans or strategies or anything like that. And he's strong, but far from the strongest in the group. His ability is really powerful though if he's able to pull it off. And this next up is a bit of a spoiler, so if you're not caught up in the manga, you could just skip like a minute into the video. So next up is a Lumi Zodiac, and he's definitely skilled enough and capable enough of being the leader of the Zodiacs. He's a very capable fighter, he can manipulate people, he was trained from birth to be an assassin. He has been known to stray from his objectives though, because with Alucard's power he created so much that he almost abandoned his assassin way of life. So if he was the leader of the Phantom Troupe, he would have to get that fixed. He also did not hesitate to go after multiple hunters in the Hunter Association while he was going after Killua and Alucard. And he most likely could put up a good fight against Hisoka because Hisoka has a lot of respect for him as a killer and hunter. Of course, by all means, I don't think Hisoka is scared of Lumi, but he does respect him enough to want to fight him sometimes. He even asked him could he go after Killua to try to get on his bad side, and it actually worked. And his nin abilities are super useful. He can alter his body to make it look like someone or something, so that's also useful as well. And he said himself this process is really painful, so he also has a tolerance for pain, which is not really important, but it is super useful as a leader. Because let's say you were to get tortured, he would be able to tolerate it for a long period of time. He also has a hypnotic spell that if he inserts his needle into someone's head, they'll do whatever he wants. To break free from the needle, you will need to locate it and have a lot of emotion to be able to locate it. And the more you resist the order of the needle, the bigger the headache you're gonna get. He can also use corpses as well, so that's another thing he can use to be able to fight people. He also has an ability called Needle People, where he puts a needle with a large amount of aura and he puts the needle inside of the person's head. Usually the people that get this needle inserted inside the head are crippled the rest of their life. Next up is Hisoka. And Hisoka is really smart and he's very powerful, but he's not fit to be a leader. One, his urges are too great and he will try to kill one of the Phantom Troupe members if his urges get too high because of his murderer instinct. Plus, he's too selfish in his goal, and he will most likely just try to fight all the Phantom Troupe members to be able to get a good fight in. And his goal is really just to fight strong people, so that wouldn't really be an asset to them. Next up is Shalnark. And Shalnark could definitely be one of the leaders of the Phantom Troupe because he's very intelligent. And he mostly uses all his powers and resources for the group, so we already know he's very loyal to it. He was also able to find out that Greed Island is actually an island in the real world of Hunter x Hunter, which proves that he's really smart because not many people could do that. Okay, next up is Pakunodo. Pakunodo could possibly be a leader of the Phantom Troupe, but she was severely loyal to Chrollo. In fact, she was so loyal to him that she didn't really care about the rest of the Phantom Troupe. She cared, but compared to him, they didn't really matter. but she was willing to sacrifice her life for the Troupe, so she does have some loyalty towards them. Okay, next up is Chrollo. And Chrollo has a good nin ability and he's loyal to Chrollo, but I really don't think at all that he's meant to be a leader. And he's not that strong at all. He's like the weakest in the Phantom Troupe when it comes to physical abilities, so he's definitely not meant to be a leader. Okay, for our last spot is going to be Uvo. And Uvo is smart when it comes to combat, but when it comes to planning stuff, he's not really the brightest. He's not stupid by any means, but compared to some of the other members of the Troupe, he's not that smart when it comes to that. And he's strong on his own, but when he's with people that he needs to protect, he gets way stronger. But he could possibly become the leader because even though he's not that good planning wise, he is very powerful when it comes to physical strength. Okay, now who do I choose to be the leader of the Phantom Troupe if it's not Chrollo? It's definitely going to be Lumi because Lumi is smart, intelligent, strong, manipulative, he's everything. The only thing I see that could happen that would be wrong is if something happened to Killua, he would lose himself and start to freak out. And there's definitely other people that could be on the list to be the leader of the Phantom Troupe, but I'm ultimately going to go with him. But that's just my personal opinion. How do you guys feel about it in the comment section below? Who do you think would be the best leader for the Phantom Troupe if it wasn't going to be Chrollo? If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like on it. I greatly appreciate that. And hit the subscribe button on the top so you don't miss on any more videos like this. Also, I'm always active on my Twitter, so if you want to interact with me, please follow me on there. And that's going to be it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed yourself, and I will see you guys later.